Hello everyone, welcome live to 3Y TV tonight's broadcast of the GTR Simulator Superspeedway series right here on 3Y TV. I'm Peter Short, and joining me in the booth here tonight is Mitchell Adams. And Mitchell, tonight's going to be an interesting one. We're at Monza left turning oval. Of course, we'll be back here for right turning oval, but we're going and kind of throwing it back to when the days of Monza actually having an oval that was runnable. It's really bumpy. You can't run it in real life anymore. However, iRacing did scan it. They did some fun stuff to it, and now we get to experience it in all of its glory, and it's going to be a wild one, I think, tonight.
Monza definitely going to present a challenge. A lot of drivers probably haven't raced here before, especially in these trucks, so it's going to be a learning curve all night long for a lot of these drivers. Definitely a really tight racetrack and a lot of different ways to get around here, but one of the biggest keys is probably just going to be just watching all the drivers around you and being aware of the trucks around you, because it is a very tight track, Peter. So definitely going to be a fun challenge, but fun for us to watch here tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to be fun to watch these drivers deal with the bumps. Here we go, on board with Steven Doziak Jr. in the number 55 machine right here. And just look at all these bumps that he goes over. A bunch of bumps there, another big bump right there in the center of turn number 3 and 4. And then watch as he jumps up out of the corner right there. You see on the right-hand side, you get that wall kind of coming at you very, very quick. From my experience at this racetrack here, Mitchell, the racetrack can get extremely tight right there on the exit, because the way that the banking just falls away so quickly means that these race cars don't really have time to transition out of the corner.
It's very challenging corner exit, and I was doing some laps too with these guys before we went live, and one of the most challenging parts of the track is the corner entry and the corner exit, because it's so dramatic. You go from barely any banking on entry straight into banking. It's really, there's not much of a transition, and then on exit the exact same thing. You go from really high banking to practically nothing. So definitely a challenge again for these drivers to handle on entry and exit, and it's definitely going to be fun to watch here as qualifying's about to get going.
Yeah, speaking of qualifying, it will be the Bamauto pole shootout here tonight. If you're located close to Hudsonville, Michigan, make sure you check out our friends over at Bamauto. They are the sponsor of tonight's pole award each and every week here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway series. Big shout out to GTR Simulators as well. Link in the description, GTRsimulator.com. If you want your own sim rig, make sure you check them out. Some really great looking sim rigs. They come with monitor mounts, which not a lot of sim rigs do, and that just is going to add to the immersion. We're also looking at another sponsor here in the series. That is William Kirwan. He is, of course, the sponsor of the Kirwan Racing Winner Award. The winner of the race here tonight will pick up $5 in iRacing credits, which you and I know, Mitchell, it's been a big week for iRacing this week. They just released a new racetrack, Nashville Superspeedway, which NASCAR will be going to this year. And hopefully one of these drivers can come away with a little extra cash here tonight and go out and buy Nashville Superspeedway and go race their truck out there, courtesy of that driver right there, the number 52 of William Kirwan. We're in the Bamauto pole shootout, and the times will start to roll in here in just a little moment. But I'll tell you what, these trucks out here tonight, Mitchell, they are whipping it around the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely very fast. One of the faster tracks, I believe. They can hold a little bit of a higher speed here than I think at other tracks. Could be wrong. Yep, as we look on board with Jeffrey Vickery, I believe is who that is. Yep, and almost 185 miles an hour in the turns. And you're going to see him really build that speed up on the straightaway, and you're looking again at the transitions. We flip now to Ben Adams in the number 5 truck. He's same thing, just the challenging entry and exits we're looking at right now. As the time's probably going to start to roll in, let's see what Ben Adams can put out in his first lap, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. Oops, sorry, Peter.
Yeah, I was going to say, we do have some times rolling in. Not sure. We've had some issues with our ticker as of late here on 3Y TV. Let's see if we can kind of refresh it and see if it does anything. No, it does not. It's just not wanting to work here tonight. So not sure what is up with the ticker. It decides sometimes to just be an absolute pain, and so far that is what it is doing here tonight. It might not be configured for this version of the racetrack. It seems like it does struggle at some tracks. Oh, there we go. It's decided to come up. How about that? Because it is Stephen Ford right now, the fastest in the qualifying session. In the number 14, what can Ben Adams do on lap number 2? Can he jump up to the top of the board? He does not. He goes into the 8th position there, Mitchell. And as of right now, the 07 of Ben Izenga making his GTR Simulator Superspeedway's debut. He's going to jump to the top of the board.
That's definitely a good way to make your first start in a series. Jump on pole. Ben Izenga, of course, a familiar face to people who watch the NSRA Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series on Friday nights. Making his first start here in the NSRA Superspeedway Series presented by GTR Simulators. But definitely a fast time. A lot of close times up toward the top of the charts, which we've come to expect in this series and all these types of tracks. But, you know, Peter, it can be usually on these super speedways, the track position really doesn't matter a lot because of the way the races go with drafting and being able to quickly move your way up and fall back quickly. But what do you think going into this race? Do you think there's a little more advantage going into a race starting up front rather than in the back?
I'll tell you what. I raced here with the trucks once upon a time on iRacing at this very version of the racetrack. I made 0 passes for position the entire race, and I won the race. Granted, I didn't start on the pole. I made passes on pit road. I made passes when people wrecked, but I would not consider me making a single pass for position that was not because of an accident or on pit road. I think I started that race in 7th and ended up winning the race because this racetrack is extremely difficult to pass at. You have to have help. You don't have a lot of side-by-side in the corners because when you do have that side-by-side, as we look at Travis White, who jumps up to 4th position. Oh, no, he's going to jump up to top of the board. How about that? With just seconds left here in the Bam Auto pole shootout, it will be the 23 of Travis White picking up the pole by 4 1/1000ths of a second right there at the end with a fantastic final sector. How about that? But folks, I think it's going to be a fairly difficult track to pass at here tonight, but it is going to be a lot of fun nonetheless. It is going to be one heck of a race. Let's see if we can bring up tonight's starting lineup for everyone back at home. We really appreciate you joining us here on 3 Wide TV. Let's bring up that starting grid here for the GTR Simulator Super Speedway Series. Big shout out to GoDadRacer for sponsoring the race here tonight. Travis White, Ben Izenga, your front row. Just 0.004 of a second separating them. Then a couple of threat level midnight machines on row number 2. That's Stephen Ford and Jeffrey Vickery. Christopher Darling, Shane Ledoux in 5th and 6th. Ben Mashburn, Andrew Himmelman, 7th and 8th. And rounding out your top 10 here, Mitchell, that'll be William Kirwan and Zach Howell.
Yep, Ben Adams will start from the 11th position with John Doble to his outside in 12th. Chip Hansen runs 13th with Jeff Wyatt 14th. JT Poole 15th. Robert Kinney 16th. We're getting word from the garage Mitchell Adams will not be starting 17th in this race, and he will not start the race, but Cam Caldwell will roll off in the 18th position with Alonso Chicano in 19th and Stephen Doziak Jr. in 20th.
21st position on the inside of row number 11, Nathan Maurer, Mike Floppy Tellier to his outside will start 22nd. Doug Neal and Matthew Rodriguez rounding out your top 24 here tonight. Rodriguez went to victory lane last week here in the GTR Simulator Super Speedway Series. And Jason Chu rounds out your 25 truck grid here tonight at Monza left turning oval. Definitely going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Just waiting for that pace car to get out there and start rolling. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, that is for sure. Big question for the chat here tonight is your thoughts about going to Monza Oval. Let's check out the chat here tonight. Kyle Lewis says, I'm missing tonight due to weather. Good luck, everyone. Kyle, I hope you're doing all right. Stay safe, and hopefully we can see you back next week. Nicholas Bradley calling under on the 5.5 cautions that Stephen Doziak has said. Kyle Lewis is calling over. Colin O'Leary saying under. So I guess that's another question that the chat is partaking in tonight, the over-under. And for your reference, that over-under number, Mitchell, is 5.5. Do you have a thought? Will we see more than 5.5 or less than 5.5 cautions here tonight?
I'm going to go less than 5.5. I think we have about, this race is 55 laps long. I think we can keep it under. What do you think, Peter?
Yeah. I'm gonna say over. I've raced here before. I know what it's like. A lot of accidents happen in that one race, but hopefully these NSRA trucks, they are a little bit better and they race these super speedways every week. But look at that right-hand side of the backstretch. You have to be concerned about the grass that's down there. And another thing you have to be concerned about here at this racetrack is there's not a wall everywhere. No. Sometimes you can just fly off into the trees, and if you fly off into the void, your car actually... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious me. We're stacking them up. Yeah, this is... I think we're going to need to... yeah, I don't know what to say. But I was just saying, you need to watch out for the grass, and there's more you need to watch out for. We're not even to the start of the race, folks, and we got at least 5 trucks sitting on pit road. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. All I have is just a bunch of... My goodness. So here we go. Let's slow this down right here. Let's go on the nose cam. We're riding on board with Shane Ledoux here. Let's see, in front of Shane Ledoux. He's got Jeffrey Vickery right in front of him. That's the number 21 machine with one of the threat level midnight machines. And Shane Ledoux just, straight into the wall. Just like that. And that blimp cam is absolutely awful. There we go. Andrew Himmelman getting involved. Zach Howell getting involved. Jeff Wyatt getting involved back there. Another truck piling in there. Steven Doziak, he's in the 55. He's going to come to a halt. There's one car upside down. The 02 gets into it. My goodness. That is one heck of an accident here early on. You can see all the trucks completely ground to a halt. Some of them are. Chip Hansen there in the 87 on the left side of your screen. The South Carolina Gamecocks machine. He's involved. There's Robert Kenny. Torn up race truck, and somehow, some way, I believe we are live. We are racing. No, we're not racing. I take it all back. We are under the caution flag, and the field has already been whittled down. So this is live. Now they do have fast repairs, Mitchell. So all those trucks that just got obliterated, they are going to have to come down and use their one and only fast repair tonight.
Yeah, and I don't know what... I think the ticker is showing something different, so I'm not sure, but looking at iRacing, I don't think the drivers involved in that incident, I think they got very lucky because it doesn't look like they're losing laps because the race did not technically start, according to iRacing scoring. Now, the ticker's showing something different, so I could be completely wrong, but if you're a fan of any of those drivers caught up in that wreck, there is hope that they could still not be out of contention quite yet.
So let's see if we can figure out who's still sitting on pit road. We got Shane Ledoux sitting on pit road. Oop, that's a terrible camera. We got Andrew Himmelman on pit road. Zach Howell, John Doble is on pit road. Chip Hansen's on pit road, and Jeff Wyatt. So 6 cars currently on pit road. Matthew Rodriguez hustling around to try and... get caught back up to the field. No, sorry, he is actually caught back up with the field. So now we will see. Well, we're going to see if we're going to have a green flag, but does not look like it. Looks like we're going to stay under caution. So I think I'm going to count this, Mitchell, as caution number 1. Even if it's caution number 0, live timing and scoring has no... My live timing and scoring has no idea what's going on. It thinks we're on lap 3. Hopefully it gets caught up when we actually do go green. So I'm not 100% sure. This is kind of an oddball one, folks. But while we kind of pace around, let's see if we can get maybe another look at the accident that happened that brought out the first caution flag here tonight. On board here with Robert Kenny, looking at the back of Jeff Wyatt. And in fact, let's keep it on the in-car camera here, the gyro cam. And yep, bam. Just nothing you could have done. Just absolutely nothing.
Hey, Peter.
That they could have done.
Live from the car.
What's up, Ben?
We're gonna, after all the calamity, we got too many tore up trucks, so we're gonna start a new server and go straight to race because everybody's destroyed.
All right, well that's so we're gonna have to get everything all reset here, and while they all do that, we can just embrace the glory of this accident. Sometimes you just have to embrace it, Mitchell. Sometimes you just have to embrace it.
You know, it's really is. It's a beautiful accident. You know, we talk about the big one here. I think definitely these drivers getting a challenge here at Monza. We can see it. You know, it's a difficult track, pacing included sometimes. So, you know, we live and we learn. And yeah, it's just a beautiful crash, Peter. I mean, we knew maybe at some point the guardrail would catch some drivers off guard, but we definitely got that one a little earlier than expected. But it sounds like we're off to start again. So
yeah, let's see if we can. Let's just kind of go back just one more time. We're gonna have to do this, and we're gonna have to go on board here with the Canadian driver, the number 97 of Mike Floppy Tellier, because he's back here, and at this point he has no idea what's going on. No idea. Just driving along through the countryside, trees on both sides, and then just smoke starts to happen. Cars start to go flipping. That's John Doble going upside down. And he just says, you know what? I'm parking it here. Just let all that just clear out. I mean, but I think they've learned their lesson, hopefully, to avoid the wall that's there. And I'm sure it won't happen again in session number 2. So we will see if we can get all that kind of wrapped up for you folks here on 3 Wide TV. So we're just going to go to this screen, and we're going to see if we can get into the other session as it populates. And let's see if we can maybe, just maybe, get some of these other drivers up here in the chat. See what they had to think about all that madness that went down. Let's see if we can get Mike Floppy Tellier. He's always good for an interview here in the 3 Wide TV booth. Hey, Mike, Peter Short, 3 Wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Ooh.
Well, you're always good for an interview. I would love to hear your thoughts about what just happened at the racetrack right there on the backstretch. You got away with no damage.
Yeah, I actually am just watching back the replay on your broadcast right now, trying to figure out what happened. Like, it's convenient. You were talking about, oh, there's not a wall everywhere. You need to be careful. And bam, right as you mentioned it, they hit the Armco barrier. And I was just far enough back. I just stopped. I told Jason Shue behind me and Matt Rodriguez, we're just like, just stop. Let them deal with what they're doing. We'll just stop. I did not expect that.
There's not a wall everywhere, but there is a wall somewhere, and sometimes it comes out to meet you. And it did, unfortunately, with Ledoux up at the front of the field. And I think we're going to have to get everything re-racked. But what are your thoughts about the racetrack from practice? Because you didn't really get any laps in there in the race.
Turn 1 is going to be very treacherous, it seems. It feels like there's a jump, basically, on the bottom going into turn 1, and then to actually be on the racing surface, it's like a truck and a half wide. Like, it's going to be chaos. My plan is to do what I always do and stay in the back and avoid the wrecks and be there at the end.
Well, I was telling Mitchell alongside me that I've won a race here in the trucks at left turning oval before. And I think I only made one pass the entire race, actually on the racetrack. I took it easy. I played it simple. I made passes on pit road. I used strategy. But actually physically on the racetrack, I only ever made one pass. And that pass was for the race lead with about 5 laps to go. all the other passes I made that race were cars crashing or on pit lane. So I like your strategy tonight. That's a good call. I mean, you use that strategy. You've used it to perfection before here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway series, getting that win a couple weeks ago at iRacing Superspeedway. Definitely going to be an interesting one here tonight. Mitchell, any questions there for Mike?
Are you ready for the race to continue? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I guess I was kind of hoping they were going to change the track. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be chaos, I think. But I mean, I'm here racing to race. I'm second points, going for the championship. So I'll race wherever they tell me to race, and I'll have fun doing it.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one here tonight. Good luck there, Mike. Who knows? Maybe you can make it to victory lane and make it past the backstretch next time. We'll just wait and see here on 3 Wide TV. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.
All right, so let's get Mike back up to his group. Mitchell, who are we going to drag down next?
Oh, let's take a look here at the list of names. Let's see, who was on pole, Peter? Was it Travis White?
It was Travis White. Yep, that is right. Let's see if we can get Travis down here into the 3 Wide TV booth. Of course, he was tonight's Bamauto Pole Award winner. And here he is. Mitchell, take it away.
Travis White, Mitchell Adams in the 3 Wide TV booth. Do you have a copy?
Gotcha.
Well, it's certainly looking fast out there on the track tonight. What are you thinking right now?
I don't know, man. I kind of just got on late and kind of run me a lap, and turns out it was a pretty good lap. So I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go out here and kind of feel it out as I go and just let her wobble.
Have you had a chance? Did you learn anything from the laps of pacing we got that are going to help you out once the second server goes up?
Well, I'm trying to look to figure out where all the bumps are. And that's going to be what I'm going to be trying to work on throughout the race. Just kind of feeling the track out and picking a fast line through there. I know you know all about that.
Not at Monza, I certainly don't. But well, good luck to you in the rest of the race, and thanks for coming down and talking to us.
Hopefully, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
I hope to see you then. Thank you, Travis.
All right, well, we'll get him back up to his team in Simbox Motorsports, and definitely going to be good for him here tonight, and, got that Bamauto Pole Award. William Kirwan messaging me saying it's like a rain delay. Yeah, we got a rain delay here on 3 Wide TV. Don't get those very often. Dana Himmelman saying it's going to be a long night. Ben Izenga might got an interview before me. Ben, it's your first race here in the Super Speedway series. So, and Ben's always not Ben. Mike is you are too, Ben, but Mike is good for a laugh. But the good news, folks, is that the session did appear for me for a brief moment. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't know where it's gone. There it goes. It is now officially up, and we can jump back into the session here and hopefully be able to watch some racing here on 3 Wide TV here tonight. That counts as our first caution. I don't care what anyone says. So Steven Doziak, we're now one closer to the over-under number of 5.5 here tonight at Monza Oval. Big shout out to GTR Simulator. While we're waiting to get back to action, why don't you check out gtrsimulator.com. There is a code, GTR Sim. If you enter that GTR Sim code, you can get a little bit extra off of your purchase if you're interested in picking up one of those. I'll post a link in the description. Why not? So you can click on that link and go check out the league sponsor here tonight while you're waiting out the rain delay. And it seems like, Mitchell, that session is jumping back up, so it won't be all too long before we get back going green, hopefully.
Yep, definitely see this one go back up. If we're talking about it like a rain delay, the track has dried, Peter. We're getting word that the red flag's about to be lifted, so hopefully we'll get to see more than just pacing here once the field goes back to green, but should definitely be exciting. I think we had more excitement than we thought we were going to get under the first pace laps, but should still be a good show. I'm hoping that these drivers figured out a little bit, learned a thing or two, and now we should be in for a treat here.
Yeah, that's hopefully the case. Steven Doziak saying the backup cars are coming out of the trailers now. That's good news. I'm trying to run back to the booth to get everything fired back up. It seems like all the drivers are rejoining the session, so that is good news for everyone back at home and everyone watching here on 3Wide TV. Really appreciate you jumping on by through the rain delay here for the GoDadRacer 130 at Monza Left Turning Oval in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series. Tomorrow night, we do have the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series in action here on the channel. That is definitely going to be another heck of a race, which is always a good sign. Let's see if we got live action. There we go. Live action right now. Back out there on the racetrack. There's Ben Adams, number 5 machine. Looks like he's the first truck out there onto the racetrack here, trying to feel it out. Is he going to miss the wall here, Mitchell? Yes, he missed the wall. Whew. We just have to do that once we actually get the cars out there for the race. I think the big question is going to be whether or not the league was able to save the qualifying positions, Mitchell, because we did see Travis White pick up the pole award, brought to you by Bam Auto, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not he starts on the pole in this session here coming up.
Yeah, I would definitely hope that they found a way to do that. I'm not sure if that's possible or not, because I don't know a lot about how the sessions work, but definitely more cars getting out on track, and it'll be curious to see how it starts. I know I saw that Travis White is the official pole winner of this race, so he gets the bonus points that are provided for that, but definitely we're going to find out once more trucks probably get loaded into the session what exactly the NSRA is going to do with that.
Yep, so we were riding on board with Ben Izinga right here, the Canadian driver. One of a couple of Canadian drivers that we have in the race here tonight, Tim and Mike Floppy Tellier. See the back right there, the Sim Shots machine of Andrew Himmelman, one of the drivers involved in that contact that we saw just a little while ago. They're trying to get around the 55 of Steven Doziak, the Total Nonstop Racing number 55. He was involved in that accident there prior to the session restart. Just waiting, I think, on a couple of extra drivers to join the session for us to presumably jump over into the race. No qualifying from the sounds of things. Looking down the straightaway, some new artifacts with this new series, or with this new iRacing update. Seems like some graphical updates have kind of gone a bit funky. Not sure what's up with that. Good old iRacing changing things. And speaking of that, Mitchell, how much have you been able to tinker around with the new iRacing update that was released yesterday?
I haven't, unfortunately, and that's what I'm planning to do tomorrow and over this weekend, but definitely some good content I hear come out. I'm really planning on racing those 1987 Cup cars. I hear good things about the updates iRacing did to that in Nashville as soon as I get that track purchased. Is definitely looking forward to that too, as I believe our Friday night, the NSRA Truck Series, also will be going to Nashville, so that definitely will be an important track to have, and going to see more of that here on the channel too.
Yep, there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff going on here over the next couple of weeks in the National Sim Racing Association, but checkered flag has been thrown here on the practice session, and now we are into the race session. Just waiting on the lottery of these drivers to turn up. And we're going to have a completely different starting grid for this one here, folks. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the grid was able to be maintained. So we will bring up the official grid for tonight's GTR Simulators Superspeedway Series GoDadRacer 130 redo. Because that's not the front of the field. That's not the front of the field. That's the front of the field. JT Poole, the number 26 machine, will be starting on the pole for take 2. Robert Kenny up there as well. Kenny was involved in that accident as well, so he's going to get a fresh car. Andrew Himmelman, Cameron Caldwell on row number 2, Alonso Chicano, Ben Izenga on row number 3, Steven Doziak, John Cannizzaro. I don't remember, was John Cannizzaro in the field? I think he was in the field for the last one. Nathan Maurer and Christopher Darling rounding out your top 10 there, Mitchell.
Yeah, and then it'll be Ben Mashburn in 11th, Jeffrey Vickery 12th, Ben Adams 13th, William Kirwan 14th, Mike Tellier 15th, Travis White now finds himself in 16th after winning the pole before the rain delay, Jeff Wyatt 17th, Doug Neal 18th, Matthew Rodriguez 19th, Stephen Ford 20th, and rounding out the field are Zach Howell in 21st, John Doble in 22nd, Jason Shue in 23rd, and Shane Ledoux in 24th.
All right, I'll reset the grid counter just in case we have to do it again, but I doubt we will. One thing I do want to note is we do have a couple of drivers starting from pit road. There's Robert Kenny on pit road right there in his number 34 machine. Cam Caldwell also deciding to start from pit road. You can't see Cam. His car is kind of hidden back there. Alonso Chicano also will be starting from pit road. Mike Floppy Tellier will be starting from pit road. We heard from him. John Doble will be on pit road. And John Cannizzaro is not in the session currently. So looks like we have 5 drivers who will be starting from the pit lane here tonight. And, well, now we have to find out, will they make it past the wall? I think everyone's going to drive as far away from the wall as they can. So far, so good. Here we go. Shane Ledoux misses it. I think we're in the clear this time, folks. That is the good news. There's the field working their way now through turn number 3. Just got to get to turn number 4. And we will see that green flag here in just a moment. The trees that surround the Monza oval here might get in the way just a little bit here tonight. To apologize for that, but nonetheless, that is what makes this racetrack oh so special. Mitchell, I think finally the pace car is going to head down pit road, and we are going to be able to get these drivers wound up and get them going green.
Yep, the iRacing pace car looking to head down pit road. JT Poole now leading the field to green. Let's see, you got it also tricky. There's 2 start-finish lines, so for the people watching at home, the second one is the one that is the actual start-finish line right there. But JT Poole, with Ben Isang on his outside, leads the field down into turn 1 for the first time under green. 2x2, several rows deep, actually getting single file pretty quickly. A lot of drivers, very cautious approach to turn 1. The front rows still double file, Peter, but looks like everybody else kind of backing it down and taking their time here to work their way up through the field.
Yeah, JT Poole, Ben Izenga on the front row. Izenga here trying to get his nose out front. He's lost his drafting partner out back, Steven Doziak. And so it looks like Izenga in the 07 still trying to get to the front, and he's done so using the high line. Very impressive right there. Steven Doziak running a little bit higher up on the racetrack, and we have made it through a lap here at Monza left turning oval. I shouldn't speak too soon because that very well could happen. You see everyone scatter down the front stretch. One of the best passing opportunities on this entire racetrack. You try and get back to single file before turn number 1, at least once the tires wear a little bit, but Steven Doziak, the 55 on the high line. Chris Darling, and Doziak tried to go down the racetrack, but it was filled by Travis White, and Travis White has worked his way impressively from 16th to 5th in 1 lap.
Yeah, definitely your pole sitter in the last session, looking really to make up the ground he lost because of our little delay there. It's quickly up to 4th now, I believe. Travis White, definitely a man on a mission with a fast race truck here to start this race off.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see kind of the front portion of the field starting to separate away from some of the cars towards the back of the field. Looking right now at Ben Izenga and Travis White, the number 23 machine. Contact, big Ben Izenga going around in the 07 machine. He's in the inside portion of the racetrack, and we are under caution. Ben Izenga appears like his first car is dead and toast. JT Poole has gone to pit road as well, presumably had to take a tow, but let's see what all happened here and what caused the first caution flag of the night here, Mitchell.
Yeah, headed down the front straight. I think at one time they might have been 3 wide here, so definitely trying to sort out their positions as they head toward turn 1. I don't even know what that was. JT Poole just took off. I mean, maybe a little netcode there, maybe a little contact, but I think we've lost JT Poole on the racetrack, folks.
Let's see if we can get another angle of this one. Let's see if we can go on board with JT Poole. This will give us the best angle. 23 of Travis White sneaks through and gets up into the... Well, that was good old iRacing. That was... I don't even know. There was no contact at all between any of the drivers. Zero. Zilch. Nada. And yet, iRacing decided to... I mean, it had to be netcode here. Let's slow it down. Let's stop it there. I mean, the 07... let's rewind it just a little bit. Well, I guess we can't rewind it. Silly thing. Okay, let's rewind it some more. Nope. Good old iRacing and its silly graphics. Okay, here we go. Let's put it into slow motion here. One more time. Because I have no idea. Let's stop it there. No contact. No contact. Stop it here. Obviously, Travis White's in the outside wall. And I'm thinking iRacing must have bugged or something. Because let's see if we can get another angle. We can kind of get this angle here. And just, it's netcode. And JT just gets launched up into the stratosphere. And gets jumped back to pit road. So I have no idea. Unfortunately, Ben Izenga. Let's catch let's catch it from Ben Izenga's view. See if anyone else got involved in this one, Mitchell. But that's all iRacing. That one.
Yeah, really unfortunate accident. Nothing any of those drivers could do about it. Just sometimes when iRacing and the server decides that you're gonna wreck, there's nothing you can do about it, and that really has hurt JT Poole and Ben Izenga. I don't know how many other drivers got collected in that. A lot of drivers doing a great job getting around it. Because we're riding on board with someone, I don't know who it is, but big save there. Made contact with Ben Adams in the 5. But is that Steven Doziak, Peter, who we were riding on board with?
Yep, it was Steven Doziak who we did ride on board with. Now, we did have a bunch of drivers come down pit road. Look at how busy pit lane is right there. There goes Doziak. There goes Doug Neal. Here comes Jeff Wyatt in the 86. A bunch of other trucks coming down and getting tires. I think that's Robert Kenny saying that is not Robert Kenny. That is the 02. Is that Cam Caldwell in there? No, that's Alonso Chicano. I apologize. In the pits news in that Chevy Silverado. You see everyone else. You got some of these drivers like Chicano, like, you know what? I don't want to be anywhere near that pack. I want to be at the back of this pack when we go back green. And that's why he's sitting on pit road. Here comes the 02. That's Cam Caldwell right there. Also in the pits news on that machine. There comes the 97. There comes the 57 machine, Matthew Rodriguez. So, now it's kind of a game of cat and mouse right now. We're working lap number 55. Second caution flag of the night. I will count that as number 2. Here, Mitchell, as we close in on Steven Doziak's over-under number of 5.5. We thank each and every one of you for joining us here on 3 Wide TV. Folks in the chat, what are your thoughts? Kyle Lewis is saying, yeah, this is not a great track. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. I have to say, I love Monza Oval. It's a lot of fun. Personally, as a driver, I think it's a lot of fun, Mitchell. It can cause some headache, but it's a lot of fun to drive. You just kind of have to be single file, if you can be, by the entrance to the corner.
Yeah, kind of difficult compared to a lot of the other super speedways we go to, where there's a lot more room to make passes in the corners, and that's just not something you can do. You can pass in the corners, but it's a lot trickier than at Daytona or Talladega, as we see JT Poole finally rolling off pit road. I believe he fell a lap down because of that incident, but it's definitely, I think we've talked about it all race. It's a challenge a lot of these drivers haven't faced before, and it's something unusual for a league that we go to a lot of ovals, but this oval's just not quite like anything else, and it's really, I like it. I've wrecked here the one time I tried to race here, but it's a challenge, and I like a challenge, and I think a lot of these drivers are maybe optimistic that maybe we can get some green flag laps. We had the potential of a great run, Peter, just kind of the iRacing server decided no, it wanted a caution.
Yeah, unfortunately, JT Poole in the number 26 machine did fall, I believe, one lap down in all of that madness. There is the Irwin Tools number 26 machine. And hopefully he can stay out of the madness so he can get one of his laps back at some point here and pick up the JR Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award, I should say. We do have that here tonight. No one picking up a JR's Mobile Detailing Award under this caution. Everyone is at this moment in time on the lead lap. I'm not sure if live timing and scoring was showing anyone a lap down earlier. They are not. It might just be as certain drivers cross the start-finish line and other drivers haven't. It might be showing them as a lap down because they haven't quite been scored the lap yet. But definitely going to be interesting here tonight. Big shout-out to all of the series sponsors as well as JKR Motorsports. They will be sponsoring our Crank It Up that we have here tonight. Hopefully we can get that Crank It Up in at some point here when they have them all wound up and up to speed, but the pace car lights are off here, Mitchell, and we're about to go back green.
Yeah, and Travis White will lead the field after coming from 16th to 1st in just 2 laps. The iRacing pace car about to duck off into pit road. Travis White waiting for when he wants to put the loud pedal back on, as he has Stephen Ford starting his outside. The green flag is back in the air, and the field heads back toward turn 1. Travis White with a really good start there. He's going to get clear of Stephen Ford as they head into turn 1. And again, it's a lot of jostling for position, but looks like we're getting single file again. Travis White leads your field with Stephen Ford in 2nd. Ben Adams takes over the 3rd position. And other than, I think, Travis White, Peter, a lot of those drivers that were playing up front in those first few laps kind of fell back because of that.
Yeah, some of them definitely did, and some of the drivers are like, you know what, I just don't want to be a part of that mess. And I gotta say, Travis White is where I'd like to be right now. I mean, obviously leading the race, everyone wants to be leading the race, but he has an opportunity. He has the ability to see where those walls are that reached out and grabbed Shane Ledoux here in the first attempt that we had here tonight. But then, he doesn't really have anyone around him to wreck him. They're not going side by side with him, at least not yet, as he is single file right there. Look at Ben Adams, the number 5 machine, trying to duck out underneath John Doble. He is going to make the pass on the number 3 machine, and that's what you got to do, Mitchell, here. You got to kind of time your run so that you can pass him and get single file as quick as you can, because it's just so bumpy on this racetrack. There's not a lot of side-by-side racing that you're going to get. As I say that, though, looks like Steven Doziak, number 55, he's going to jump up to the high side. Let's even go on board here with Doziak, looking out back at the number 55 machine. That's what it looks like going out front. You can see how this racetrack, Mitchell, is progressively banked, and it looks like he's going to complete that pass on John Doble around the outside. Here comes Doziak up to 5th.
Yeah. We talk about the progressive bank. There's really about 3 different areas of the track. The really up by the wall is the highest banked, and then kind of down below by the yellow line, it's kind of slightly less banked, and then below the yellow line is also runnable, but it has a lot less banking. So there's a lot of options for these drivers. But you talked about wanting to stay single file, and there's a lot of give and take that's going to happen, because you don't want to be passed, but sometimes you'd rather be passed and lose 1 position than get stuck too wide into a turn and maybe have something happen and wreck you. So you're going to see some drivers be more patient than others, especially in these early stages. But as the race goes on, we're going to start to see that patience go away. As looking up front now, this lead pack here already kind of driven away from the group behind them. I don't know. This is a group I'm trying to tell maybe about the top 10-ish. Kind of broken away from the rest of the field, Peter.
Yeah, so this is the top 8 plus JT Poole, who currently sits 1 lap down. Then you have a gap back to Ben Izenga, who leads Andrew Himmelman, Robert Kenny, Jeff Wyatt, Chris Darling, Zach Howell, and company. And then back behind them, there's another little gap of trucks that have kind of all gaggled together. Back there, you see Matthew Rodriguez, Jeffrey Vickery's back there in one of the threat level midnight machines, Jason Shu in the bright yellow Pennzoil machine. So they're all kind of running around this racetrack right now, somewhat in two separate packs, just waiting to see how it all shuffles out. But we are now working lap number 10 here tonight, as up at the front of the field they start to get a little bit racy. You see that the 55 is Steven Doziak. He's up to third. He got around Ben Adams, Mitchell, and I thought he was going to try and contend for second, but he's dropped back just a little bit from the front two, as we're primarily single file up towards the front of the field.
Yeah, not really much battling going on. Steven Doziak maybe looking to the outside. Now it looks like he'll settle into third place now, which is where he was. So no, there was not a pass as he separates himself now from Ben Adams. But really, I'm surprised to see the pack break away as much as it has from that second pack. I wonder if that's just drivers saying, no, we don't want any part of this battle for the lead. We want to hang back a little more. Ooh, a little contact between Travis White and Stephen Ford. A little bit of a nudge to the rear corner panel is going to allow Steven Doziak to slot up into second place. That was really almost direct. Good job hanging on. Didn't really wiggle around that much, but good driving by Travis White and Stephen Ford to keep that from being a wreck. But you talked about Doziak. He's worked his way up from 7th to 2nd so far, and now looks like just behind him another position being contested. Ben Adams looking for the third. Ben Adams looking for second now over Steven Doziak. Great run by the 5 trucks. He's stuck on the inside. Tried to move up into third, but Stephen Ford, I believe, was up on top. And yeah, they're headed back down the front straightaway. So there is some position changing, Peter. It's just really, it happens really quickly. Now there's pass for the lead.
Yep, Steven Doziak, the number 55 machine, is going to take his turn up at the front of the field. And oof, man, they all started to funnel together there from about third position on back. Adams, Ford, Doble following Doziak and Travis White. So there's that number 5 machine. We continue to watch him. But one of the cool things about this racetrack is just the fact that it is so flat. But Travis White wants the race lead back. He is going to be all by himself up there on the top side of the racetrack, going to just power on by the 55 of Doziak, and White back to the race lead. Seems like Travis White here tonight, Mitchell, he's pretty fearless. I mean, we saw him charge from the 16th position up to the race lead in just a handful of laps, and he's not afraid to make a pass around the high side.
He's not, and he's put that truck really close to the walls. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Stephen Ford going to move up in front of Ben Adams and Steven Doziak. There was a little contact between the two on the front straightaway. Another little bit of an exciting moment. We're looking a little farther back in the pack, mostly single file still. I believe we're looking at Jeff Y and the number 86 as they come down the back straightaway. Ben Adams with another great run. He looks to the inside. Ooh, Ben Adams in the grass. That 5 truck's been getting great runs out of turn 2. I've noticed that. That's not the first time he's had a lot of speed headed down into that turn, but really just couldn't make anything happen. Travis White aggressively blocks as now there's side by side for the lead. Oh, as Shane Ledoux got up into the wall a little bit. Great job hanging on to that, but Ben Adams with a run. There's more contact. It's just crazy racing up here, Peter.
Yeah, there is contact. There's RG Bargy. It's, oh my goodness, Shane Ledoux getting absolutely slaughtered into, and we got Reckon in the back of the pack. My, oh my, there is a absolute destroyed number 12 truck, folks. That is going to bring out the caution flag here tonight. Let's figure out what happened here, because this is an ouchies here on 3 wide TV. Let's see if we can see it from up above. There's the number 14 machine dropping back. That's actually his teammate there, up there on the top side. And let's watch what happened to Shane Ledoux here. He just kind of got too low on the racetrack here, Mitchell, kind of all on his own. There's a wall right there, plows into it. There's the 971 machine of Chris Darling. Zach Howell going right underneath the number 12 machine. And then watch, here comes Ben Izenga on the scene, Andrew Himmelman, Mike Floppy Tellier, and not sure who that was, but getting ghost wrecked there. Looks like Matthew Rodriguez in the 57 machine. He kind of had an issue back there as well. And there is Shane Ledoux getting towed back to pit road. Robert Kenny was one of the cars, and you can see that damage. New damage on these trucks here in tonight's race. You'll get to see some of that. iRacing has tweaked some of the damage on some of these trucks, but let's get a look at this one. Watch, there goes the number 12 machine up and over, and unfortunately Robert Kenny getting involved there, as well as Alonso Chicano in the number 5, the 57, also getting a chunk of it, and Mitchell. I think we're going to have to go on board with Christopher Darling, don't you?
I always want to go on board with Christopher Darling. What was he up to under this little thing here?
Well, I think we're going to get a good look at this right here. Let's just in full speed. There goes a race car. There goes our race car. Let's take a look at Zach Howell. He was one car behind Darling because he had a hot miss as well. Not a hot mess, but a hot miss. Here we go. Zoom. Straight underneath the flipping number 12 machine. And not sure what happened there. I think the number 12 just didn't quite realize there was something there, and there's a car upside down right behind you. Can you believe that? But unfortunately for a couple of the other drivers like Robert Kenny and Alonso Chicano, in the pits news on the 05 truck, I think he was able to get it back to pit road. Robert Kenny just decided to take a tow, and that puts us under our third caution flag of the night, creeping in on that number that our good friend Steven Doziak put up in the chat earlier. But pit road is a very busy place. Everyone coming down to take tires and fuel.
Yeah, everybody wants the chance to get some fresh tires and more fuel in trucks while they can. Just one of those wrecks, Peter, we're very thankful this is in a sim and not in real life, because that would have been a much worse wreck than it was. But thankfully, nobody obviously is hurt, because they cannot be. This is a computer. But yeah, Travis White held the lead pretty well, but looking out on the track, Jeffrey Vickery in the 21, I don't know if he didn't pit or if he just beat Travis White off pit road, but he is your race leader. No. Yep, Vickery stayed out under that last caution, so he'll now assume the race lead. So
yeah, you can see that Jeffrey Vickery, he has been on an 11-lap stint. Let's see if we can actually change it to pit stop lap, because that gives you a better indication of what's going on, because Travis White, Nathan Maurer, Ben Mashburn, and Jeff Wyatt, they all pitted on lap number 16 last time by. Jeffrey Vickery did not. So he pitted a couple times earlier in the race, lap number 4 and lap number 5, but he is still out there on the racetrack and will inherit the race lead at this current moment in time. Well, folks, we got to see some green flag racing in there. Cam Caldwell saying, "Watch my onboard." Let's go back. Let's appease Cam, and let's go back and catch his onboard. It'll take me just a little minute to go back to the accident. Going up. Here we go. I think we got it queued up. Here we go, on board with Cam Caldwell. And the pits news on his machine. Let's see. Oh my goodness, there's a truck flying, and sneaks through. Just like that. A couple of the in the pits news. Other trucks, unfortunately, not being able to sneak on through that, but a great job there by Cam Caldwell to sneak on through and get himself up to the front of the field. Looks like he's going to be restarting this race in the 10th position, as the pace car lights have been extinguished, and we don't need to know about the battle for first anymore. But yeah, Mitchell, we got some green flag racing in there. We're at the 1/3 race distance or thereabouts. Just got to see some more of that green flag action and be mindful of the walls that come out and eat you here tonight.
I think that's definitely been the biggest struggle tonight, has been the walls. But I think while we were green, the racing was pretty good. We saw a lot. There was more passing than I expected, a lot of moves. There was quite a bit of contact, but thankfully no wrecks for a little while. And just the tire barrier, they get you. They come out of nowhere here at Monza. Maybe they'll learn from this and maybe put some markers there so you can see where they're coming like they do on the interstate. But pace car lights off here as they head down the back straightaway. Jeffrey Vickery going to lead the field back to green. Stayed out, but the rest of the field pretty much behind him. was down pit road. We're just gonna say that they took 4 tires and fuel, but may not have been the call for everybody. But still quite a big field of trucks here. Not too many taken out. Again, they do have one faster pair going into this race. I believe Alonso Chicano is the only truck I've seen not in the field, or ended up being wrecked out after that last caution, but coming into turn 4, Peter, we're about to go back green.
Yep, that is definitely the case. There's Matthew Rodriguez. He used one of his faster pairs there under that caution flag. William Kirwan was also put a lap down. Not sure what that was about in his machine, trying to pick up one of those JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Awards. Not sure who the Lucky Dog Award was under this caution. Do apologize for missing that, but big shout out to JR's Mobile Detailing for sponsoring our Lucky Dog Award here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series. Green flag back out in the air. Finally, took a while for it to come out. And ooh, wheel spin out of the back of the number 23 of Travis White. They gather things back up, and we're going to be side by side off into turn number 1 here, Mitchell. Contact up at the front.
Yeah, they're banging doors into turn 1, but Jeffrey Vickery looks like he'll hold the lead with Ben Mashburn. Haven't talked about him much tonight. He's always up toward the front in the Superspeedway Series races. He's up to second now. Looks like Travis White was able to slot into third. They head down the backstretch. Mashburn maybe looking to make a move for the race lead. He's got help from Travis White, and there he comes into turn 3.
Yep, right down there on the inside line, it is Ben Mashburn in the number 24. I said last week that he had 2 consecutive last place finishes here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series, and he needed to get rid of that number 24 truck. He's back with it. He didn't listen to the commentator, and he is currently leading the race. Will that be the commentator's curse? I don't know, as we now have 19 laps in the books. Now working lap number 20, and man, that was a huge wiggle out the back of Travis White. We have mentioned that White has not been afraid to make a crazy move here tonight, as Jeffrey Vickery, the number 21 threat level Midnight Machine, he got into the outside wall there, and he's going to lose quite a bit of track position, falling all the way back to the 12th position right now. But meanwhile, up at the front of the field, it is the number 24 throwing a block on the 971 and Nathan Maurer. Maurer now side by side for second, excuse me.
Yeah, it was a great save by Travis White. Made a lot of moves like we talked about. Went from, I believe, 16th to the lead within 2 laps of the race. So White definitely very fast and not afraid to make moves here. Is mostly single filed out, as it looks like maybe Ben Mashburn. I'm trying to get a look, or waiting for my scoring to update. No, I don't know who I was seeing dropping back a little bit, but no, I believe it was Travis White might have fallen back there a little bit, Peter, on that run. I don't know what happened to the 23, but something, yeah, he's dropped back to 6th place, so something happened. But looking up front, it is still Ben Mashburn. Battle for second is Nathan Maurer, and Steven Doziak is actually Maurer now with a run for the lead. Mashburn fights back on the outsides. It seems like that outside lane, Peter, maybe preferred groove when you're side by side. I feel like more times than not, the outside's been able to prevail, but Maurer has the help on the insides. They almost banged doors on the front straight away, but help from Chris Darling's going to push Nathan Maurer out to the lead, I believe.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact between that 971 and the number 24 there coming out of turn number 4. We got to look at them as they race through turn number 1 and 2 here, and they head on to the backstretch. Here comes Chris Darling looking to the inside. Darling going to drop way down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Now he has help from the number 24 of Ben Mashburn, who's sitting right back behind him. So it looks like Maurer going to slide back a couple of spots here. We got Doug Neal in the grass there. He's going to save it, get back up onto the racetrack. No harm, no foul. But the Simbox number 77 is going to fall back here.
As we were looking at that, though, Travis White in that number 23, we've been talking about him, got really sideways. I think he made contact with somebody, and now the caution back in the air. Definitely some exciting racing. I was just about to talk about, it seemed like there was a lot more aggression on this restart. We see Jeff Wyatt maybe just came up the track a little bit into the 23, but they were definitely racing a lot harder than I think they were, Peter. Maybe getting a little more comfortable with the track and a lot more moves, a lot of great side-by-side racing, but something happened there, and unfortunately we're back under caution yet again.
Yeah, what happened is Mike Floppy Tellier turned into an absolute top in the number 97 truck, and unfortunately not getting a great look at it to see what happened here. Let's see if we can go on board with Tellier one more time. There's the contact, and unfortunately the 23 just came straight up into the number 97 machine, and luckily for the number 97 machine, he ended up back on the racetrack, but I think that engine is kaput. So he's going to have to take a tow back to pit road, and that is going to put us under caution flag number 4 here tonight, if my math adds up. So now 1.5 away from that magic 5.5 number that Stephen Doziak mentioned earlier in the chat. Kyle Lewis says, I thinking JT Poole was the lucky dog under that last caution flag. I believe you're right. That would make sense. So we'll give Ed JR's Mobile Detailing Award to JT Poole. Under this caution flag, we believe that it's going to be the driver of the number 52, William Kirwan. We will see whether or not that is true. Let's see if we can jump on board here. As you see a bunch of trucks heading down pit road, looks like Matthew Rodriguez might have gotten banged up in his machine again. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to Matthew Rodriguez, because we believe he used a fast repair under the last caution flag. Just waiting. William, you gonna get that lucky dog? You gonna take the lucky dog? You gonna go around? Are you gonna go around? Yes, you are. So William Kirwan is our JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award under this caution flag. Big shout out to JR's Mobile Detailing. Make sure you check them out. There's a link in the description to the Facebook page. So that will give us 19 trucks on the lead lap. You saw a bunch of trucks head down pit road. You see some of them just now starting to roll back onto the racetrack. And most pit stops I'm seeing here tonight, Mitchell, are for tires and fuel.
That seems to be the call. Monza, I don't know how much it wears tires out, but definitely a lot of these drivers electing to take 4 tires on their stops, like you said. It's been exciting. Technically, we've had 3.5 cautions, I think, Peter. But yeah, we're looking at that magic 5.5 number. We're about halfway through the race, 3 or 4 cautions, whatever you want to say. Not bad. I think we're close on that number. Maybe I still have a chance with the under. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Working lap number 24 of 55 right now. If you divide 55 by 2, well, you get 27.5. So we are closing in on that 27.5 number. It's kind of been a zany night so far. We had an attempt earlier on in the night to try and go green, and unfortunately had an accident come into the green flag with the walls jumping out here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway series. We really thank each and every one of you in the chat for joining. Let's check out the chat. Stephen Doziak saying, I'll take the over. Cam Caldwell saying the seas parted for me. Yeah, they definitely did a little while ago. Hopefully they continue to part for you. As what's happened to JT Poole? Something happened? Has he lost the front hood, or is that just no? That's just iRacing being funky. I think it's this new damage model. He's got a thing stuck in his car. He's got one of those boards stuck in his truck there. You see that, Mitchell? He's got one of those boards, those whatever they are, the turning boards stuck in his truck.
I mean, maybe that Max Graphics team, I believe JT drives for, maybe they're thinking there's an aerodynamic advantage to sticking some pieces of cardboard inside the nose of that truck. You never know. People have tried crazier in the world of racing, I'm sure.
Looks like it's finally decided to disappear. Yeah, that was ironic. Let's see if we can figure out what happened around that caution flag when Mike Tellier... let's see if we can see what happened to Matthew Rodriguez. This must have already been under caution, unfortunately.
I took a look at some of the footage, Peter. I think he got that damage on a previous caution, so I don't know where that damage came from, but it was there at the start of the last green flag run, I believe. So I don't know. I thought he took his fast repair, but I think he's had that there for a while.
Well, okay, this is odd. Okay, let's go back and get another look at this one, because Rodriguez, let's watch him here. He's Well, you know, we're right. We're going backwards. We're going backwards. You are right. I thought he used the faster pair in that number 57 machine, but maybe he didn't. I'm not sure. Anyway, we have the pace car lights extinguished, so we will go back to green. William Kirwan, like we mentioned, was our JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award. And we are at 19 trucks on the lead lap. Mike Floppy Tellier in the number 97 is the first truck 1 lap down. Good news for Tellier is he's the only truck 1 lap down, so he only lost a lap when he got pole vaulted over the wall. Out of turn number 3 and 4, there is JT Poole, no longer carrying any foam boards to the green flag, and it is Ben Adams, the number 5 machine, up at the front as they head off into turn number 1, Mitchell.
Yeah, I believe Ben Adams got the lead in a similar way we saw from Jeffrey Vickery. I believe he stayed out under that last caution. He'll lead Steven Doziak Jr., John Doble, JT Poole through turns 1 and 2. And single filed out pretty much on the back straightaways. Just as I say that, Steven Doziak looking on the outside. Doesn't really have much help out there, but had a big run. He's almost clear of the 5, but they'll head into 3 and 4. Too wide, and as I say that again, Steven Doziak clears Ben Adams for the race lead. Battle a little farther back between Chris Darling and I believe Stephen Ford, but single filed out mostly. It's kind of the opposite of what we saw in the last round. I think there was a lot more aggression in the opening lap of the last run versus this one here, Peter.
Yep, and now up at the front of the field, Ben Adams going to take his turn back up towards the front of the field. Chris Darling to the inside of John Doble, but Doble's going to hold on to that position for now, right in front of Stephen Ford. Meanwhile, a little bit further back in the pack, I think maybe Matthew Rodriguez might have caught the wall, and Rodriguez in the grass. He's in the grass again down the backstretch. Everyone's scattering to avoid the number 57, who's falling like a stone through the field. But up at the front of the field, we're side by side now for second. JT Poole and the number 55 is Steven Doziak. And Doziak, he might have just caught the wall there in the center of the corner. And we got the accident. Here we go. John Doble involved. We got a big one coming out of turn number 4. Ben Mashburn's involved. John Doble's involved. Nathan Maurer is involved. Doug Neal is involved. And I think Matthew Rodriguez was also involved in that accident. Doug Neal, the Simbox 77 machine, is smoking. We got another car up there smoking as well, and I'm not really sure why these drivers, Mitchell, decided to try and go another lap, because if their engines grenade here on this lap, they're going to have to take a tow, and they'll probably end up losing laps.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes in the heat of the moment, I've been there. You not quite sure what's going on, and then you realize the engine's gone, and next thing you know, pit road's already gone. I've done that before, but maybe they have reasons. We're looking back at the replay. Stephen Doziak got a little high, but I think John Doble, when he got into the wall, Peter, it looks like John Doble just made a little contact, and that caused the 3 to go around, collecting Doug Neal and the 77, a lot of other trucks blown up in that wreck. I think it took the other Simbox, or another Simbox racing truck, Nathan Maurer, out. Another big one wreck here.
Yep, and you see Matthew Rodriguez back there spinning like a top in his steak and shake machine. There's another look at all of the carnage on the front stretch. Ben Mashburn getting involved in the number 24 machine. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened to the number 24 machine here. Let's go on board with him. Watch out front, because watch the number 11. The guy in the pink car, he kind of comes up, and I think Doble was coming down, and it was 2 trucks kind of going to the same spot at the same time, and Mashburn then trying to grind it to a halt. You see that front engine smoking. Let's see if we can get a look on board with the number 8 machine. That, of course, being the number 8 of Andrew Himmelman here, because he was far enough back. Watch, there's all the carnage. There's all the carnage. He's slowing down. He's slowing down. He's slowing down. Just able to squeak by on the high side and kind of let it all run its course there, Mitchell, and he's going to pick up some spots because of it.
Yep, good cautious driving. Decided to lay back, I think, on that restart, and it's going to work out for him. A lot of trucks on pit road. A lot of trucks already been down pit road too, and if we look up back by the pace car, JT Poole Now your race leader, Ben Adams, dropped to 5th under that caution. I believe he pitted, and maybe some drivers stayed out. The pits have been interesting tonight, Peter. There's a lot of mixed strategies we've seen, and I think almost every restart there's been a different leader because of a pass in pit road.
Yeah, and you can see how difficult it was kind of getting to pit road with all of the smoke that was down there. Here's Steven Doziak. Doziak just kind of pulls to the inside of the track. I think he might have been letting people by. Maybe he thought that that caution flag was his fault, and he was going to start at the tail end of the longest line. Not sure, but he kind of came to a halt there for just a brief moment. Meanwhile, out there on the racetrack, we are looking at right now our JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog under this caution flag. We mentioned it just a little while ago that he was the only truck one lap down, and that is the Canadian driver, Mike Floppy Tellier. Got that win at iRacing Superspeedway a couple of weeks ago right here on 3 Wide TV, and now he's going to work his way back out onto the racetrack. So we are up to 19 trucks on the lead lap again. That number hasn't changed because Zach Howell and the number 37 truck, he is off the racetrack right now, and unfortunately I think Zach Howell's night will be done. You see a couple of trucks working their way around the racetrack right now, trying to catch up to the back of the field. We'll see if those pace car lights turn off. They do indeed. So it looks like we're going to have about a 25-lap shootout when we go back green here, Mitchell.
Yep, about halfway through this race, a little more than that, but the trend of the race, I think, Peter, is we've seen some single file starts, but really, as the race has gone on, the aggression's picked up quite a bit, and it's put on a pretty good show. I've enjoyed watching the racing, but the problem really is that we haven't been able to keep it. And hopefully in this last part of the race, these drivers kind of figured out maybe what went wrong in some of those wrecks and cleaned it up for us, because I think the racing's been really good. I don't know about you, but it just hasn't been able to sustain over a super long green flag run.
Yeah, that is definitely the case here tonight at Monza Oval, unfortunately. Hopefully, we can throw that by the wayside. This is caution flag number 5 for the people counting back at home. If you're playing along with Steven Doziak earlier tonight. Kyle Lewis saying caution 5, just nowhere to go in that one. Tanny Himmelman saying, this is proof someone remembered to tell Ben I was cheering for him. And it did say, let's go, Ben. Kyle Lewis saying, Peter and Mitchell, y'all don't get enough credit. Y'all do a great job week in, week out. Well, we appreciate it, Kyle. Hopefully you can enjoy watching us while the storm is raging on around you. Hopefully you're safe, and hopefully the storms aren't as bad as you expected them to be. So we'll have to wait and see. 25 laps to go. Shootout here at Monza. Autodromo Nazionale Monza. That's where we're at. The left turning oval. Going to be a lot of fun for the remainder of the race. Kind of had to kind of halt myself there. Almost kind of rolled that one off with an Italian swing as well. But you can see the Formula 1 track there on the left side of your screen. That's the first hairpin down there, or the first chicane, I should say. Not a hairpin, but the first chicane where the Formula 1 cars go. But we're on the oval here today. The left turning oval. We'll hopefully get to see the right turning oval later on this season. We'll just have to wait and see. Green flag back in the air. 25 laps to go. And it is JT Poole who started on the pole in this race, back out at the front there, Mitchell.
JT Poole finds his way back out to the lead and got a great restart there. Stretched out quite a bit over Ben Mashburn, who I believe was just caught up in that wreck. Obviously took a faster pair. Ben Mashburn right back out. Ben Adams up to 3rd, started 5th on that restart. Nate Maurer, who was also involved in that last wreck, sent 4th. He's battling with, I can't quite tell. He's battling maybe, I don't know, Peter. I'm still learning these trucks. I haven't been up here that long in the booth. That is the 14 truck. I just can't find it. Stephen Ford, there. It took me a minute, folks, but I'll get it eventually.
That really should be our motto here on 3 Wide TV. Just wait a minute, folks. We will get it eventually. But Stephen Ford in the number 14 machine just got himself up to 3rd. Just got around the number 5 of Ben Adams. Side by side, well, almost side by side, a little further back between Chris Darling and Jeff Wyatt. Matthew Rodriguez there in the 57 finally used that faster pair, so he did save it, and quite rightfully so, because if he hadn't have saved it earlier on, his night would have been kaput. Behind them, Jeffrey Vickery, he is in the 11th position. Cam Caldwell is in 12th. William Kirwan, who picked up the JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award a little while ago, he's 13th. Then Andrew Himmelman in the Simshots Chevrolet, being really patient here tonight. That's, in my mind, a little surprising, Mitchell, because Andrew Himmelman isn't one of those drivers that you often associate with patience.
Well, I know it from experience. I've raced with him as his teammate in the NSRA Truck Series, and I know he really likes to get up there and battle for the lead, but definitely a smarter race car driver, and I think we're seeing that come out tonight. He realizes that the race is kind of going in a little bit of a more, shall we say, wrecking direction. Is the only way I can think in my head to say it, is Jeff Wyatt got a little bit of the grass there in the back straightaway, I believe, but yeah, it's definitely a viable strategy. We've seen a lot of wrecks, and a lot of trucks at this point use that fast repair, so definitely the drivers staying out at the back, and we saw drivers start from pit road, I believe, at the beginning of this race. So the strategies, some drivers like to avoid the wrecks. Travis White, as we see up front, he's definitely not been one of those drivers, as he clips JT Poole going down the front straightaway. 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, that's not going to work, as there's a wreck. They're taking the road course, Peter, as still green, but that was an interesting one right there.
I don't have a camera for that one, folks. I don't have a camera for the road course, and that will be caution flag coming out here, and I believe that will be it for JT Poole. His night here will be done. Let's see if we can go on board here. Let's slow it down, put it into the helicopter cam, contact with the 23 of Travis White. Let's see if we can go back just a little bit further. Let's see if we can go just a little bit further to see how this all went down. Here, going across the start-finish line up here. And the 23 just starts coming up the racetrack, and 3 wide just doesn't really work. Gets into the side of the number 26 of JT Poole. And like you said there, Mitchell, they are going towards the Parabolica, the famous final corner of the Monza road course. And unfortunately for both of them, boom and boom. Both go smashing into the tire wall. Travis White ending up rolling over in that melee. Right there. Let's get a look here from Travis White's machine. Just to see what all happened here. Here we go, on board. There's the initial contact. Here we go, going off into the tires. Goes upside down, does 1.5 barrel rolls. Ends up on his wheels and says, you know what? I'm just going to go this way, because this is where the track is. And somehow he did not get disqualified by iRacing. There's trucks going the wrong way. Oop, that's the wall. I'm surprised he didn't get disqualified there, Mitchell. He went backwards for quite a long ways.
Yeah, I mean, I've been disqualified for iRacing for less before, but definitely very fortunate. The track's so narrow, there's, like we talked about, there's not runoff for these wrecks. You're going either straight up into the little itty bitty thing we call the outside wall here at Monza, or you're right into the forest. So there's not much runoff, and they kind of wrecked in a position where, well, the road courses goes through there, but unfortunately neither of them could keep it out of the tire barrier, and that's, I believe, going to end both their nights, because I think they had both used their fast repairs up to this point. Trying to get a look at who the leader is. I'm trying to check my live timing and scoring, and I believe they're all on pit road now for some pit stops. Is we've seen a lot of that too tonight. Is sometimes drivers will stay out, or the field for the most part will stay out, but it's pretty much the field likes to pit here tonight, Peter.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's up with our live timing and scoring here on 3 Wide TV, because we're no longer on a replay. We are live. But it's saying we're on a replay, which is not exactly true. So we might have to do a little bit of, well, no, we definitely weren't live. Well, okay, we're going to go live the old school way. There we go. Now we're back live. I don't know why the live button didn't decide to work. That was really strange. I've not had that happen to me, but we just had to go fast forward until we were back live. Gremlins here tonight. Like I said, I don't think this racetrack's necessarily configured for this software and vice versa. But anyway, that's what it looks like here at Monza. That's the situation. A couple more trucks heavily damaged. And I'm just waiting to see here, Mitchell, whether or not Travis White has a fast repair left. I think he did. Yeah, he did have a fast repair left, so Travis White should be good to go. JT Poole, on the other hand, his night appears to be done. So the field getting whittled down a little bit further. John Doble, I believe, in the number 3 is on pit road, yes. Shane Ledoux, I believe, was your JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award winner, perhaps.
He might be waiting for a wave around. I'm not quite sure what's going on here under this caution.
Yeah, actually might have been Robert Kenny in the number 34, because I know Robert was 2 laps down at one point. So I think Robert Kenny gets one of his 2 laps back here under this caution flag. So the 34 machine will be 1 lap down. We are left with 17 trucks on the lead lap. We've lost another few. JT Poole being the one who has fallen down. And Mitchell, I have to say, I said over on the caution count tonight as Ben Mashburn there trying to run the road course. Not sure what's going on there. But I said over, and hate to break it to you, bud, but over was the winning call here tonight. We're at 6 caution flags here tonight.
Oh, well, I'll get him next time, maybe, under caution. It definitely has been exciting, I'll say that, but yeah, unfortunately, you've won. I'll give it to you there, Peter, but looks like the pace car lights are off. As I think we saw Ben Mashburn almost took the road course. I think you said we know we're going to Monza turning right, so going the wrong way, quote unquote, on an oval. So he was just trying to get a little head start maybe and almost ducked in to go reverse on the road course here at Monza.
We're hearing that. I see. So this is actually what brought out the caution flag here, Mitchell. JT Poole and Travis White were off having fun on the road course. But there was contact between Jeff Wyatt, who got into the outside wall, in the 57 machine of Matthew Rodriguez. Appreciate the message in the chat. I think it might have been Matthew Rodriguez himself, who mentioned that he had contact with Jeff Wyatt, and this is what actually brought out the caution flag. So it looks like the night is done for the Steak and Shake number 57 machine. Kind of 2 incidents happening all at the same time there, Mitchell. And a really tough break for the number 57 machine, who was so good last week at Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, last week's race winner, I believe, taken out under that caution, and the mantra I believe we came up with, we'll get it eventually, as we did with that caution there. As pace car pulls off, and we're getting ready to go back to green. Ben Mashburn going to lead the field back to green. Stephen Ford with a lot of tire spin, it looked like, on his outside. Same with Steven Doziak behind him. Ben Adams rolls off third, but a great start by Ben Mashburn. Ben Adams challenging for second up on the inside. Looks like can't quite clear, I believe, that 14. Oh, now he just slides down as we're looking a little farther in the back. Single file mostly again. Has been what we've seen a lot again on all these restarts. It gets single filed out, and then kind of the excitement starts to unleash as the pack. A little bit of a battle for the lead. Ben Adams, great run out of turn 2 down the backstretch, and your new race leader.
Yep, so the number 5 machine up to the race lead. Steven Doziak Jr. flirting with the outside wall. He's going to slide back in behind the number 77 of Doug Neal. Jeffrey Vickery, the maroon number 21, back behind him. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, there is Andrew Himmelman. He appears to be off the pace here right now. Not sure if he's still just laying back, waiting for his opportunity to try and jump towards the front of the field with 17 laps to go. He's running right now in the 10th position, just maybe waiting for his go time, thinking, you know, there's going to be another caution flag, but only time will tell. The Camping World 07 machine, that is a little bit further back. That is Ben Izenga almost getting into the grass back there. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, Chris Darling, the Be Kind number 11 machine, the Autism Awareness F-150, he's going to move up to third as Stephen Ford there, Mitchell, just caught the wall.
Yeah, and I think we saw Chris Darling use that line below the yellow line. I think we've seen it a little, but I think he went a little farther down than most have tonight. Thought maybe he'd make a move up the middle, but he'll push Ben Mashburn back out to the race lead. Darling now up to second, and he'll bring Doug Neal on the high line to challenge Ben Adams for third. These top 5 really broken away significantly. Then Stephen Ford by himself, Jeff Wyatt back in 7th, but the top 5 have broken away, so we've seen some packs break away, but I think this is the smallest group of cars that have taken to the lead is Ben Adams and Doug Neal still battling for that third position, but maybe a lot more drivers deciding to lay back. We talked about Andrew Himmelman doing it, but quite a few cars now off this lead pack, and there might be a point, Peter, where, you know, if a lot of cars decide to lay off, well, the packs just move farther back, and you haven't actually ended up laying off. So, interesting strategies. I've been talking about the separation of the pack. Now there's more trucks starting to catch the lead pack, so I don't even know what I'm talking about up here, Peter.
Yeah, so let's go a little bit further back. Here we go on board with Stephen Ford. He's actually locked in a battle with Nathan Maurer. There goes Maurer on the inside of the racetrack. So Maurer, he just moved himself up to 8th. William Kirwan starting to make some noise. Kirwan had a tough race last week at Daytona International Speedway. He's trying to bounce back here tonight as he was up there in the points. Looks like he might have got a little bit sideways there on entry into turn number 3 as they carry 195 miles an hour through these corners. No restrictor plates here tonight at the Monza Oval. We'll get a look here on board with Ben Adams at your front pack. They are locked nose to tail. Mashburn, Darling, Neal, Adams, and Doziak right back here. But you mentioned it that some of these drivers a little bit further back in the pack, they're starting to close in. You can see that snake of trucks here with 14 laps to go, starting to creep towards the front. Right in front of Cam Caldwell is Mike Floppy Tellier. He just cracked the top 10 here tonight. He's looking to the inside here of William Kirwan. Looks like Tellier is going to take that spot, and here comes Cam Caldwell to the inside of the racetrack as there might have been contact. Tellier and Maurer. Tellier going to go to the top side. Here we go, side by side, a little bit further back in the pack. Look at that. That is some hard racing. It looks like Tellier and Caldwell are going to be able to sneak on by a very slideways Nathan Maurer.
Yeah, great track awareness by Cam Caldwell. Really just slowed down when those trucks in front of him did and found his way to get by Maurer. So we look back up front now. Ben Mashburn still leads this race with Chris Darling, Doug Neal behind him. The battle still heating up here, kind of around the 6th and 7th position. That's right in front of Ben Adams. That's Jeffrey Vickery and maybe Stephen Doziak. I can't quite tell. We're still getting it here, but yeah, somebody got into the grass there, Peter. But the aggression up front, it's been kind of different than we've seen. The aggression up front hasn't really been that high, but the aggression further back in the pack really starting to pick up and some good battles. And as I say that, there's a battle for the lead. Chris Darling looking to the inside of Ben Mashburn, and he has help from Doug Neal. Ben Adams looking high, and they're going to be side by side headed down into turn 1. Big run from Mike Floppy Tellier, and then they're wrecking on the road course again.
Yep, the 5, the 77, and the 97 all going off into the grass, and that's what it looks like. Mike Floppy Tellier trying to, we're going into the abyss, and we're into the abyss.
That's an interesting camera angle.
Just like that, Cam Caldwell involved, and the caution flag will indeed come out. And I was just about to do a JKR Motorsports Crank It Up. Just about to do it, and nope. Let's go back and watch this live. Doug Neal gets into Ben Adams, and Tellier goes down into there, and just, all 3 trucks just piling in. Tellier dropping out Ben Adams in the number 5 machine. And you see Tellier just getting flipped upside down. Let's get another look at that one. We'll have to get another look here, and we're gonna slow it down. Go up to the front of this group. There's Tellier. So watch the bright yellow number 77 machine. Tellier's got a super duper run here. And I think Neal's coming up the racetrack, and he just catches the 5 of Adams, turns Adams down into the 97. And the 77, the 5, and the 97 all locked together. Look at Stephen Doziak, and oh my goodness, Cam Caldwell impaling the tire wall. that was kind of a separate incident all on its own, but then the 3 trucks, the 77, the 97, and the 5, all just go off sailing themselves off into the walls. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to Cam Caldwell, because that is going to be another one here. Here we go. On board with Cam Caldwell. There's smoke, there's a wall. Boink. Starts going backwards, and in the pits, News 02 machine had to take a tow back to pit road, and that might be all she wrote for Cam Caldwell here tonight. Back live up at the front of the field, though, Ben Mashburn, Chris Darling, Jeffrey Vickery, Stephen Doziak Jr., Jeff Wyatt. We might see him on pit road. If we do see him on pit road, though, here, it would be for the final time here tonight, presumably. And here they all come, Mitchell.
Yep, not quite everybody headed down pit road, but most of the leaders coming down. Is trying to get a look if my camera will cooperate. Looks like Travis White stayed on the track. He's got a lot of rear end damage, but still, he's a lap down, so he'll be getting a wave around there. That's what's up there. But yeah, getting a look back at another replay. I'm curious because on the last caution, when the trucks kind of wrecked off the field, it didn't bring out a caution. I'm guessing Cam Caldwell and the tires is. Ooh, that's another barrier we haven't seen much of tonight. Ooh, yeah. Who was that, Peter? As the 14. It's. Yep.
Yep. That's about all you can say. Accidents getting to pit lane right there. And that is the number 14 of Stephen Ford. You see Ben Izenga involved, Andrew Himmelman involved, the 971 Nathan Maurer involved, Jason Shue in the 15, all involved. Let's see if we can get another look at this one that happened on the entrance to pit lane. You don't often see that happen here at a racetrack. You just don't. Maybe only here at Monza Oval. Watch the number 14 of Stephen Ford, because I think what happened here is the number 12 machine. I just don't know. He locked up the front tire when he realized there was a wall there, and then they all just kind of pile in. Let's see if we can get an onboard there with the driver of the number 14 machine. See if we can see what all went down here. Let's go. We do have. Let's just jump to this cam here. There he is. This is what the driver sees coming down onto pit road, and the racetrack kind of fell away a little bit there, Mitchell. I wonder if the truck just did something weird to him, and just, I don't know. Here we go, on board one more time.
I'm looking at it. I think it's very possible he saw the 12 of Shane Ledoux trying to come down to pit road late, and he's running low already, but I know the 12 kind of came into pit road. It looked like a little late, maybe just a reaction, and then ran out of room on the racetrack. And unfortunately, a lot of drivers collected behind that. I know Nate Maurer, Andrew Himmelman, Ben Izenga, some of them. And I saw Ben Izenga is actually taking that truck to the garage, so he's done after that incident. But definitely one of the more peculiar incidents. We've seen some interesting incidents with the wall, but wrecking on pit road's not one you see every day either, Peter.
No. We have seen some interesting ones here tonight. That is for sure. You can say that, and you can say it again, and you can say it again. We're hearing that Andrew Himmelman in the number 8 machine, his night might be over. He's sitting on pit road. Stephen Ford in the number 14 machine, he's getting back out there on the racetrack. There's the number 14 machine. We got a quick look at him working his way around the racetrack. Looks like he used a faster pair. He is not on the lead lap. We are down by my count to just 10 cars on the lead lap. No, that's accurate. Yep, looks like 10 trucks on the lead lap at this current juncture of the race. And William Kirwan, the number 52 machine, has gotten out front. Now, remember what I said earlier in the race, Mitchell? You don't have to pass a whole lot of trucks to win here at this version of Monza Oval. You don't have to pass them out there on the racetrack. You just have to have a good pit strategy, and you also have to avoid the accidents. And here tonight, William Kirwan has done both of those. He hasn't passed a whole lot of trucks out there, but he's avoided the accidents. He's played his pit strategy. Now we will see whether or not he is in position to win, as we will have an 8-lap shootout here at Monza Oval. it will be Kirwan, Mashburn, Darling, Wyatt, and Doziak, your front 5, when the green flag falls here in just about a quarter of a lap.
Yeah, the iRacing pace car coming off turn 4 yet again. Hopefully we can get some good green flag running here to the end. Is definitely the top 10 going to put on a show for us. Is William Kirwan leading the field back to green. Once again, we talked about it all night too. That was the pit strategy that put Kirwan out front not to piss. He got a pretty good restart. Ben Mashburn hanging in on the outside, but Mashburn with no help. Kirwan has Chris Darling, but Mashburn side drafting a little bit in. He'll have the high line with over William Kirwan. Looks 3 wide potentially. Oh, that got exciting there, Peter. But Ben Mashburn taking the lead. Chris Darling looked to make it 3 wide on the inside. I don't think that truck's sticking. He probably wisely checked out of that one, but he'll fall back to, I believe, the 5th position. Jeff Wyatt up into the top 3 now. We haven't seen too much of Jeff Wyatt up front. I know he's been kind of up there in the top 10 for some of the night, but the top 4 now breaking away yet again. Peter?
Yep, Mashburn, Kirwan, Wyatt, Doziak, Darling, your top 5 as they've run. And then it is a gap back to the threat level midnight machine of Jeffrey Vickery. He does have his teammate right back behind him, Shane Ledoux. But Ledoux finding himself 1 lap down in the number 12 machine. In position here to pick up the JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award as we're side-by-side tight going off into turn number 1 for the race lead between William Kirwan and Ben Mashburn. I'm sure they're having a whale of a time up at the front of the field as we now have just 7 laps to go. Travis White there in the bright yellow number 23 machine. He was lightning quick, picked up the BAM Auto Pole Award at the top of the night. He is creeped his way back up into the top 7 here tonight. So folks, it's not over yet. Chris Darling behind William Kirwan, pushing Kirwan to the front here as we're coming to 6 laps to go. And oh man, was that a bit of a block there by Kirwan, a little bit of a late block, and it's Dicey up at the front.
Yeah, Dicey and side by side several rows deep as there's contact somewhere, and they're 3 wide. Jeff Wyatt might have got a piece of that wall, can't quite tell, but big push coming to Chris Darling from the 21 of Jeffrey Vickery. Darling now out to the race lead over William Kirwan in second. They're putting on quite the show. It's the caution flag now out, Peter.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw that view, but that view kind of said it, what just happened there. It was kind of a Jeffrey Vickery was there, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. So this is the view that I was watching. Watch the number 21 machine of Vickery. He's there. He gives that bump to the number 11 machine. He's there. And all of a sudden, he's not there. The pack just blows away from him because he also hit that tire wall right there that you have to be mindful of here. You have to be mindful of that tire wall. It will come out, get you, and it's got a couple of drivers here tonight, and unfortunately, picking up Jeffrey Vickery on this one. Let's see if we can get another look at this one. There's the number 21 machine just behind Chris Darling. And let's see if we can go on board because you can see he's right behind Darling right there. Right behind Darling. Darling moves up, and there's the wall. And you really can't see it. Again, really glad that these are not real race trucks because that would have been very, very bad.
And you can definitely tell from that angle, it really kind of looks silly from the perspective outside the truck where you see a truck just drive straight into the tire. So you can see, riding with exactly what Jeffrey Vickery sees here, he's right behind Chris Darling. He can't see around. Next thing he knows, he's turning the wheel and it just hits the bump, doesn't turn, and straight into the tires. And unfortunately, I don't know if he has a fast repair, Peter. We'll have to check in on that. Looking at pit road, he's definitely in pit road, but we're going to get another look at this. Down the front straightaway, just great fighting for the lead, and unfortunately, just you can see, catches a bump. Everybody kind of bumps up, but gets kind of the wheels off the track, and then just no control over that truck, and it's headed straight for the wall, really, with nothing he can do about it.
Yep, that is definitely a tough break for a driver who is up there near the front of the field. So we're going to have what appears to be maybe just a 3-lap shootout. The good news is the teammate of Jeffrey Vickery, who is Jason Ledoux, should be picking up the JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award. Still haven't been able to pick up that JKR Motorsports Crank It Up. Doesn't quite look like we're going to be able to get to that here tonight, unfortunately, folks, as we do want to call the end of the race. But big shout out to JKR Motorsports for sponsoring the Crank It Up here. There is a link in the description here, folks, to the JKR Motorsports Facebook page. That would be www.facebook.com/JKRM21. Make sure you check them out. Of course, we hand out the Max Graphics Hard Charger Award. Also, make sure you check them out, www.facebook.com/MXGRAFX, and of course, maxgraphics.co. If you are interested in picking up iRacing paint scheme, they are the place to go. SimShots, also series sponsor here for the GTR Simulators Superspeedway series. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. They are going up in the Facebook likes category quite a bit. If you are a league owner and want a professional iRacing photographer, make sure you check out our friends over at SimShots. Beer Street Journal. Mitchell, we haven't mentioned Beer Street Journal here tonight, but Beer Street Journal, www.beerstreetjournal.com. They sponsor what we dub the last call. That is a green-white checker. Everyone else calls it a green-white checker, and it looks like we're going to have because the pace car lights didn't go out, so it looks like we're going to have what we would call a natural green-white checker, not necessarily a Beer Street Journal last call, which is a overtime event, but we should have like a 2-lap shootout here when we go back green here in just a minute.
Yeah, and while you were going through some of our sponsors here in the GTR Superspeedway series, I was just thinking about what it would be like. Think about this, Peter. A SimShots picture of a truck bouncing off that tire barrier. I think that would be beautiful, don't you?
Well, whoever wins this race, if they do not just take the checkered flag and impale it straight into one of these walls, I will be a little disappointed. I mean, there are so many walls here. There's the wall to the right. That will send you careening across the track. There's the wall to the left here, which will send you careening backwards. There's the good old parabolica. You could go jumping that big mound of dirt that's down there. You could go jumping off of that. That's always fun. You could just turn hard right in the middle of the corner and go jump over that very, very short Armco barrier off to the right. And for all you folks wondering about this racetrack, they used to race on this track back in the 1960s. Into the 1970s, they used to run this portion of the racetrack. So, yes, it seems a little crazy, but they used to race it. They used to race it in Formula One back in the days where they barely even had seatbelts, and they were going 180 miles an hour back then with their skinny tubes, their cigar-shaped Lotus 49s. It's just unbelievable that people actually used to race at this track, and of course, no one races at Monza Oval anymore, Mitchell. Of course, NASCAR never obviously went to this racetrack, but it really is a piece of history in the grand scheme of motorsport.
Yeah, Monza definitely one of the tracks in the world with a lot of racing history. You talked about Formula One and a lot of series, and they combine this track not with the road course that runs around here, and there's some neat configurations, and luckily for us, iRacing lets us run on the oval portion of this track, and we get to see some interesting racing, some good racing, and, you know, sometimes it gets a little exciting. This is a very exciting racetrack. It's definitely, I've enjoyed watching it again as we're getting ready to go back to green for not quite a Beer Street Journal I almost called it an overtime. What do we call it? Last call? Yep, not quite, but the pace car now headed back down for this restart. Chris Darling going to lead the field back to green on for what will be a 2-to-go restart here.
Green flag back in the air. Chris Darling, Ben Mashburn, those two trucks getting a great restart and leaving the number 52 of William Kirwan in the dust just a little bit. You see them squeak their way through. Oh, the number 52 goes around. That's Jeff Wyatt. And that will bring out Shirley, a Beer Street Journal last call, and he's still having problems in the number 86 machine. Let's see how that all started here. We are back under caution, and indeed, we will have a Beer Street Journal last call. Let's watch right here. Slow it down. There was a little bit of rubbing between the 55 and the 86. They kind of were able to get off of one another, but I think the 86 just broke loose. That 86 was never happy. And then goes up the racetrack. Look at John Doble in the 3 machine down there. He also suffered from the same thing. There's Travis White getting into the side of the 86 machine. John Doble got into the 86 machine, back up into the 23. Doble into the outside wall. The 14 there, a Ford getting involved. He heads back down onto the racetrack. Travis White going sliding in his number 23. Did he come back up the racetrack? Ford getting into his back bumper. Is this still kind of accident still happening? And they finally able to get things sorted out, but unfortunately, it looks like Stevens Ford's engine has grenaded. There's Robert Kenny, who I believe will be your JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award under this caution flag. So, the 14 there, Stephen Ford lost control of it. John Doble lost control of it. Both of those trucks must be suffering from severe suspension damage. Tough break for them. But my, oh my, we are back under the caution flag, and it is a Beer Street Journal last call upcoming for all you folks back at home. Cameron Caldwell, the 02, he got back out the racetrack. Mike Floppy Tellier also got back out on the racetrack. Remember, Tellier ended up in the Parabolica at one point here tonight. 2 laps down, still struggling out there. He's contending for points, Mitchell, so that's why he's out there points racing here tonight. Might pick up another couple of spots because we got a Beer Street Journal last call coming up.
Yeah, and I mean, you got about 10 cars, 9 cars probably on the lead lap because unfortunately Jeff Wyatt's engine did expire as he was trying to make his way back around the racetrack. But so we'll have, I believe, 9 lap. No, we will probably have 10 cars on the lead lap, Peter, because we do have a Lucky Dog. And forgive me, I don't remember our sponsor of the Lucky Dog as you're looking at Jeff Wyatt. Unfortunately, going to have to tow it back to pit road. His night probably done. There's not much time left to get back into it if he hasn't used that fast repair already. We're looking at Shane Ledoux. Is Shane our Lucky Dog here, Peter? I know he's on the lead lap. He wouldn't be the Lucky Dog. I should look at scoring.
Robert Kenny should be our JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award, and there you go. You see him getting waved on past or on past the pace car, on through the pace car this time in the number 34 machine, and he's been a couple of laps down here for quite some time. So Robert Kenny finally getting that JR's Mobile Detailing Lucky Dog Award to get himself back in contention for the race. It's going to take him a lot to get from 9th to the lead here in 2 laps, but we've seen some crazy things happen here tonight. We saw cars wrecking coming to the green flag. We saw cars wrecking coming to pit road. We've seen cars wrecking onto the road course. We've seen cars wrecking into stationary tire barriers. We have seen cars flipping over the wall. We've seen cars flipping upside down. We have seen cars flipping due to net code. We have seen, just about everything. I mean, I don't know what we haven't seen here tonight, Mitchell. We've seen some great side-by-side racing. We've seen drivers with some fantastic, spectacular saves. The list goes on and on of what we've seen here tonight. Definitely going to be one of those that I'm sure some drivers are going to love it. Some drivers are going to hate it. Some drivers are going to hope they never see this place again. Maybe only in their nightmares will they see this racetrack again. But I'll tell you what, I'm sure the drivers who are up front are absolutely loving the bumps. They're enjoying it. There is fun to be had at this racetrack, folks. That is for sure. So, speaking of fun, we can hopefully go back green here, Mitchell, in just a little bit. Question for the chat: what have we missed? What did we miss in that list of things? What did we miss in the list of things that we didn't see? Nicholas Bradley saying some recent discussions are people trying to update the oval to bring racing back to it. That would be interesting. Could you imagine, Mitchell, if they were able to make this track into an actual oval where NASCAR could run, and they added safer barriers around the whole thing? Could you imagine that? That'd be pretty cool.
So I think one of the first things they need to do is maybe add a little bit more of a modern barrier up along the outside as you're getting a look at it. Not much to keep a car from flipping over that barrier there, but I'd I wouldn't go watch it because I don't want to pay to go halfway around the world to watch a race at Monza, but definitely would, I think, be an interesting NASCAR race. We've seen a lot of tracks get added to the schedule recently. Why not work the Monza Oval back in?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Folks, we're lining up for our first attempt at the Beer Street Journal last call here tonight at Monza Left Turning Oval. That is right. The Beer Street Journal sponsoring our overtimes here in this series. Big shout out to them as a series sponsor this year. The iRacing pace car at the front of the field right now, leading us back to the green flag. Chris Darling, Ben Mashburn, your front row. William Kirwan, Stephen Doziak Jr., third and fourth. Nathan Maurer, Shane Ledoux, Travis White, Robert Kenny, Jason Shue, all on the lead lap. And the driver I want to keep my eyes on here is the driver of the number 34 machine, Robert Kenny, because Mitchell, he just got his lap back. He's back on the lead lap for the first time in quite some time. What can he do here as we have our first attempt? We can have up to 2 attempts here in the GTR Simulator Superspeedway series, so this might not be the last call. That's right, we get an extra round of drinks if we go to the second last call here, brought to you by Beer Street Journal, but only time will tell how this all shakes out. Looking back out of Christopher Darling, waiting for the green flag to fall here, Mitchell. I'm sure he wants to get to victory lane here tonight in that number 11 machine, just waiting. Look at everyone. They're trying to pounce on that number 11 machine. They're finally going here. At the front of the field, it looks like the number 24, Ben Mashburn, he got a spectacular restart to the outside of the number 11 of Darling, and it looks like Mashburn's going to lead him going off into turn number 1. White flag next time by.
Yeah, good restart on the high line for Ben Mashburn in the 24. Kind of settled down and get behind it, but this is race at this point, anybody's game. We've seen drivers, like we highlighted earlier in the race. Travis White came from 16th to the lead in 2 laps. That's how many laps we have in a Beer Street Journal last call, so definitely doable for anybody here on the lead lap as Christopher Darling tried to make a run on Ben Mashburn. Mashburn be able to hold that position. Stephen Doziak, is Chris Darling looking down low, might have gotten a little help from Stephen Doziak. Ben Mashburn coming to the white flag, leading this field, but he's just probably at this point looking out the rear mirrors. Chris Darling, big run, little contact, Peters. They head down into turn 1 for the final time.
Turn 1 for the final time. Look at Robert Kenny there on the number 34. He's the third car on the inside groove, side by side for the race lead. There's contact. The 24 and the 11. And my, William Kirwan, the only driver to get through. We figured out who's going to win here. It's William Kirwan, unless something dramatic happens. And then we just got cars smoking back to the line. William Kirwan will take the biggest win in the Superspeedway Series history. Power down, and back behind them, it is just a bunch of trucks battling, and Jason Shue gonna sneak off.
So close, Peter, so close. And there comes your race winner, William Kirwan, to the line. He will pick up the win here at the Monza Oval, left turning. Big congratulations to him. Maybe the lone survivor of this race here, Peter.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh man, that was hilarious.
Did you know there's a wall out there headed into turn 3?
It happened again. It happened again. Oh, man. Wow. Great comedic relief on your Thursday night, folks. I'm in tears up here in the booth. Pretty speechless. But, boy. William Kirwan's going to donate himself $5. He is tonight's winner, brought to you by Kirwan Racing. I mean, if this night doesn't get any zanier, William Kirwan now has to award himself $5. Man, I feel really bad for Jason Shue, but that wall that was tonight in a nutshell. What just happened to Jason Shu? And that last lap, a mad dash of broken trucks for second, and William Kirwan, oh my goodness, sneaking on through to take the win. I'm in tears, Mitchell. What a race here tonight. What a
We're
race.
gonna have 6 trucks finish this thing on the lead lap, as we saw a lot of last lap madness. There are no cautions once that white flag waves, and it made for quite an interesting last lap. I think William Kirwan just barely made it through, but the lone survivor of this race is they're still wrecking there on the front stretch, but there you go, as he's going to finish up his burnouts. And yeah, it put on quite a show. As we're going to take a look back at the replay here. What are we taking a look at now? Yeah, that is turn 1 of the last lap we're taking a look at here. You see Ben Mashburn, the leader, Chris Darling, trying to make a run up on the inside, but just come together, just not quite enough room on that racetrack. And you see William Kirwan just sneak by barely on top of Ben Mashburn, and then Mashburn and Darling both come back up the racetrack, and then they just kind of die right behind them. Yep, they just all pile in. There's absolutely nowhere to go. There's William Kirwan just kind of scooting away happily down the back straightaway, as Chris Darling going all the way up the hill. There's a fence up there. I'm not sure if we saw anybody hit that fence tonight, though. Little Nathan Maurer doing a little rallycross driving, diving off the hill. Yeah, we've had quite the tour of turns 1 and 2 there in Monza tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And then watch for Jason Shu. Jason Shu's coming on through saying, oh my gosh, I'm actually going to finish second here. I'm going to do it. And then the 971 machine throws a block on him, and I'm so excited, and then it's all gone in a hurry. Travis White with that pass right there on the smoking 971 and Nathan Maurer. He got himself up to second. Doug Neal there was 16th, couple laps down. So unfortunately, Doug Neal, although he was second across the line, something like that, his night's over. Then back behind them, 971, Nathan Maurer going to cross the line in second. And then the race further back was Chris Darling. He's smoking. He was hustling his way back. Behind him, another smoking machine, Shane Ledoux. Behind them, Ben Mashburn, who was not smoking, just couldn't quite get there in time. And Ben Mashburn's going to come home 6th. But margin of victory here tonight, 16.5 seconds. That is the biggest win you're going to see here on a Superspeedway series. And my eyes are still watering after all that. That was quite a finish here tonight. Not much more I can say beyond that. We're going to see if we can talk to our top 3 finishers here tonight. Nathan Maurer, Travis White. Let's see if we can get both of them. Trying to see if I can find Nathan Maurer. Oh, yep, there he is. All right. Let's see if we can drag the first one up here into the booth. Nathan Maurer, driver of the 971 machine. Nathan.
How you doing, guys?
I was dead there for a while.
If that looked like a block there at the end, I could not see from all the smoke behind me. I seen that guy. I look at my relatives. I knew he was coming, and I just went high to let him by. I thought I was in first place there, and then he just. I thought he was gonna at least get a top 3 there, and then he goes around me, and then he just drills the fence right in front of me. I'm like, what the heck just happened? The best race, though. This was the best race tonight. Was after that wreck, everybody just trying to get back to the line.
Yeah, I mean, this race probably leaving a lot of people speechless. I hope that we come back for the right turning oval. I hope that does actually happen, because tonight's race, for whatever it was, Nathan, how much fun was it when you guys actually were racing and the green flag was out and it was just hard, beating and banging, finding groove, trying to find some space? Did you have any fun out there tonight?
To be honest, I just got the new NASCAR wheel today. It's a bigger wheel. I just put it on 10 minutes before the race started, and I just letting everybody go. I was just kind of trying to get used to my wheel there the first 50 laps of the race. I got up front kind of by accident, and me and Ben Mashburn were side by side, and we doored each other a couple times. Yeah, I mean, overall, it was fun just to watch the the people just randomly hit walls, and guys, JT and I forget JT and Travis White just shoot off onto the road course. I mean, it was fun in a different perspective, but I really think the racing was poor. But it was funny in like a humorous way.
Well, I hope we go back. I mean, I haven't laughed that hard in quite some time. There after, my goodness, poor old Jason Shue there. You laid down the smoke screen. And
yeah, I did not try that. I messaged him right away and apologized. I did not ever mean to try blocking. I thought he was going to be on the inside of me since I felt like I was already towards the right side of the backstretch there. But yeah, that was my fault there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Nathan, next week we go to a much less hectic racetrack. We go back to Daytona, which we were there last week, but next week is the normal new Daytona, the not bumpy one. You excited to get back to a not bumpy racetrack?
Oh yeah, but I think by then I'll be ready. All my leagues, also the rest of my leagues for the rest of the week just fall on super speedways. So after next week at Thursday night, I'll be the last super speedway hopefully for a while. I like super speedways, especially in the trucks. But yeah, I'll be excited. It's always fun.
Absolutely. Well, Nathan, before we let you go, any shout outs here on the channel?
Yeah, everybody that runs this Wednesday night league. I'm not really sure who all runs this Wednesday night league. I know Chris Darling's the owner of NSRA. He does a pretty good job running this thing and trying to keep all the younger boys in line. You guys for broadcasting, you guys do a really good job up there. I'm sure you guys are laughing. I'll go back and watch it probably tomorrow morning on my way to work and watch it, and I'll probably be laughing along there with you.
Oh, I couldn't breathe there for a solid 2 minutes there at the end of the race, but
I was in tears when JT and a couple other guys went off to the road course part. Yeah, it was funny.
All right. Well, congratulations on finishing in third. We'll see you again next week here. Well, we'll see you again tomorrow night here in the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series.
Yep, I should make it, guys. You guys have a good night. See you, Mitchell.
Yep. All right, that's going to do it for our second place interview. I believe that Mitchell Adams has caught up with our runner-up, Travis White, who picked up that Bamauto Pole Award at the beginning of the night there, Mitchell.
I have Travis White, Mitchell Adams in the 3-wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Mitchell, I got you, man.
Well, you said maybe we'd be hearing from you later in the race, and here we are after the race, finishing second. Not a bad effort. What do you think about what transpired there on the last lap of the race?
Well, the last lap, I'm glad it happened. I thought one more car got caught up in it. I thought that, everybody got involved, and I didn't see William break loose right there. So I actually, until I seen his name come up in my telemetry, I thought I thought I had it in a bag until I seen his telemetry come up, had one more, and I was like, just a little short, man. I thought I had a truck to beat tonight, though. I really enjoy this track. It's as far as super speedways, it's really fast, and you really have to drive it hard at this track at Monza.
Yeah, and we saw you driving hard through the field. Saw you up front. You went from 16th to the lead there in just a few laps in the start, and we saw you on the road course too tonight. You were kind of everywhere for us. What'd you think about your race tonight?
For the most part, it went good. I went back and I looked at 33 or whatever, and I probably need to give JT a apology, and I probably shouldn't have stuck it in there. I thought I had a lane going down there at the bottom, and going back and look, it was there and it wasn't. It's just one of them racing deals. I probably should have going toward the end, right there at the end, that probably would have been more fitting, but a lot of racing to go, as you know, stupid mistake. I'll try to work on that a little bit, but overall, it was still. I mean, I enjoyed it. I love this track.
It definitely put a show on for us up here in the booth. And next week we're going to Daytona, not the bumpy one. We're back on the newer scan of Daytona. What are you thinking about that race?
I like Daytona. The Superspeedway series, I mean, it's shaping up pretty good. For the most part, it's been pretty caution-free races, and green flag runs at Superspeedways is pretty rare. Everybody, drives pretty respectful.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us up here in the booth again, and congratulations on the second place finish, and we'll see you later.
See you, Mitchell. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Oh, Al, I forgot to ask you before you go, do you have any shout-outs here for us on 3 Wide TV?
Yeah, my little girl, she just lost her first tooth tonight, so we're going to give a shout-out to the Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy is coming shortly. So, yeah, that and my teammates and Nate pulling in the third place finish, Simbox, and Chris Darling, NSRA. You and Peter up there in the booth. Just a good Thursday night, man. Good, wholesome, clean fun.
Al, thank you for talking to us, Peter, and we'll catch you next time.
Appreciate it. See ya.
And that was Travis White, your second place finisher tonight here at Monza, and I believe Peter Short's caught up in victory lane with our winner, William Kirwan.
Yep, I'm down here in victory lane with tonight's Kirwan Race Winner Award, the Kirwan Racing Race Winner Award. That will be William Kirwan Jr., who now owes himself $5 for winning the race here tonight. William, the seas parted for you there on the last lap there, buddy. And victory lane for the number 52 here tonight. Great bounce back after Daytona 1 week ago. Tell us about the stories of Monza.
Well, first off, before I get into that, Peter, I just want to say happy anniversary to my wife. It's 8 years today, so saying I love you, and thank you for letting me race tonight. Yeah, I messed up big time tonight there. The first or second caution there, I wanted to get to the back, so I stayed out, and then I came down the pit road, and I ended up having to serve a penalty, and I ended up losing a lap. And so then, luckily, I got the lucky dog back, and I just stayed out of it until the end there. Probably with 10 to go, I got mixed in there a little bit. And then that last lap, I guess somebody was looking over me to win tonight, because that car, I was watching the replay. I thought Christopher was going to come back up and get me, but after I got through it, I didn't even look behind me to see if anybody made it. I just wanted to get out of there and get to the win.
Well, the answer to if not anyone made it out of it, the answer to that is no. The 6 cars all behind you, or 7 or 8, I guess it was 8 trucks behind you, all imploded. And you scooted away to the largest victory of the season here tonight. Really, really cool. And of course, a lot of people had troubles here tonight at some point or another, you included, with that penalty. But what were your thoughts about running the racetrack? Did you have fun out there? I mean, it's one of those things where I'm sure some people love it, some people hate it, and all the madness. But what were your thoughts of running this racetrack tonight?
Yeah, it was really crazy. That's why I just wanted to stay in the back as much as I could. And then I was just talking to Christopher offline, and I just said that I was just going to stay behind you there once I got past Doziak, because I just wanted to get some more points. And then I guess Christopher said he was going to stay there, push Mashburn to the win, but I don't know what happened. I think Christopher got loose on the apron and got into the 24, and then 24, I just kept going. My left front's destroyed on the truck, but who cares? I brought it home, and I'm pretty excited. I needed this win tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, after Daytona, having the heartbreak there, jumping back up into the points picture again here, William, really awesome to pole vault your way back to Daytona modern day, the smoother Daytona. What are your thoughts about kind of going to Daytona for the third time this season next week.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pretty much play the same strategy as I did this week. I think the first time we went to Daytona, I ended up getting destroyed, but still finishing in the top 5. But yeah, I'm just trying to take it easy still. I just want to try to get up there and get some points and maybe have a shot at this at the end there, Peter.
Absolutely. Well, William, before we let you go, any shout outs for us here on the channel?
Absolutely, yes. Of course, I spoke about my wife earlier, my family for letting me race tonight. You guys up there in the booth tonight, you and Mitchell, everybody that puts on this league, and Kirwan Racing. So we'll see you next week.
All right, well, folks, that's going to do it with tonight's Kirwan Racing race winner, William Kirwan, here tonight. Congratulations, and congratulations on your 8 years of marriage as well. Go enjoy there, William.
Thank you. See you next week.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for our race-winning interview here tonight with driver of the number 52 machine. Need to give away some awards here tonight, including your hard charger of the race here tonight. And it looked like on that very last lap, Jason Shu was going to be able to just squeak on through. But unfortunately for Jason Shu, he ended up in the wall that caused its problems early in the race. Ironically, it played havoc on the opening lap, the very first pace lap, and the very last lap of the race. But Jason Shu still able to pick up the MaxGraphics.co Hard Charger of the Race Award, so picking up 16 positions here tonight. And Mitchell, I thought it was almost ironic that Travis White was the no. Oh no.
You good there, Peter?
Oh no, I just realized. Just like Jason Shu almost finished second here tonight, he almost got the Max Graphics Hard Charger Award for the second time. I have called Jason Shu's position too early. It was Shane Ledoux, the hard charger of the race, coming home in 5th. So, Jason, what could have been tonight, in multiple regards, just unfortunately not quite panning out here at the end of the night. Shane Ledoux picking up the MaxGraphics.co Hard Charger for the Race Award. I can't do math up here in the booth. Maybe I'm not okay. I don't know. I think we're all going to have therapy after this race here tonight. We're all going to have to go back and have some Discord therapy and hopefully have a good race tomorrow night here on 3 Wide TV. Mitchell, I know we're going to see you in that one here, the National Sim Racing Association, going to the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series. We got a really fun race lined up for you tomorrow night, folks, when we head to Talladega. More Superspeedway action there, Mitchell, the MaxGraphics.co 250. You looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to it, especially after watching tonight. It's got me ready to go at some high speeds. Hopefully I can avoid some wrecks like we had to see some drivers do tonight. But Talladega always puts on a great show for us in the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think everybody else watching, definitely tune in, and hopefully we can put on a show for you.
Absolutely. Well, folks, big shout out to everyone who watched here tonight. Big shout out to GTR Simulators. I'll tell you what, tonight would have been one of those nights you really did want a GTR Simulator because it was a little bit of a long one. But big shout out to our friends over at SimTV for the camera angles that we brought you here tonight. We'll see you next week right back here in the NSRA GTR Simulator Superspeedway Series at Daytona. And, of course, tomorrow night at Talladega in the NSRA Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series. But for myself, Peter Short, Mitchell Adams, and everyone else in the 3 Wide TV family, have a good night, stay safe, and we shall see ya!